Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Danjo number 70 CW-S. The 70 part number is representative of all of the dimensional properties of this item. And that is just simply how the Danjo line runs, meaning that they give it a numerical part number, and that defines the size. So a 70 is different than a 40, obviously, but that's the important part. The 70 defines the size of a wrap plate. Then you get into other parts of the part number. They call this a CW, which stands for commercial wrap. They at one time had an IW for interior wrap. It's not very clear what the difference ever was between the two. I can tell you the IW version has been long discontinued. And if I was going to suspect, I would say that the CW is 22 gauge. The IW is probably a little bit thinner, would be my guess. Now this is S for stainless steel. This is made of pure stainless, meaning not pure stainless. It's made of stainless steel. It's not a coated product over something else. And will have a brushed satin finish to it. Speaking of the finish, I'll pull away a little bit of the peel away paper protecting cover material that's there. Stainless steel. Brushed finish. Okay. Now, the 70, what does that mean? Well, it means all of its dimensional properties. A rather unusual unit for us to sell because it's for an 1 3/8 door. I don't sell this 70 very often. This is going to be, their height is going to be 4.5 inch. The width is 4 1/4, even though they generally run a little bit long on the width, and that's because I think they're measuring from the inside. Okay. This is going to have 4 holes for screws, which are indeed included. That bag was open. Put a little tape on there to keep it closed. You'll want to, so if you have a door that is an 1 3/8 thick door and you need to close off a hole, the 70 is going to help you do that. You could also use the 70 as a custom sort of door reinforcer, meaning you might drill your own holes into the face of this to accommodate whatever it is that you're doing. I've also had people order this because they've needed an unusual size and they've literally stacked multiple units on top of each other. That's uncommon, but it's not unheard of. This is going to be, and there is, by the way, a link below this video to a document called Template that will allow you to review those dimensional properties. It also refers to the other finishes that are there available. PB for polished brass, AB for antique brass, BZ for satin bronze. 10B, that means oil rubbed bronze, but their 10B is not oil rubbed bronze. It is a dark brown powder coat. So be mindful that it's complementary to oil rubbed, but it's not a true oil rubbed at all. And then S for stainless steel. We'll have those slight radiused corners that are there. Now when I install these, I will dry fit them first. I'll just get them on the door and see how the door works. And I'll make any accommodations necessary so that I can get a nice closing action on the door without it really having to be pulled closed, because you're literally trying to stuff too much material between the lock style of the door and the strike jamb. This material, they say it's 22 gauge. My caliper tells me it's 0.032, 0.032. Okay? So the point of the matter is, it's not very thick, but it's also not nothing. It's a 32nd of an inch in here that you'll have to accommodate. If you already have a very tight margin, like a 1/16 of an inch, this is only going to exacerbate the problem. And what you probably would likely need to do, and what I've done in the past, is I'll get my router, and I will make a template, and I will skim coat and remove from the edge of my wood door the thickness of this material so that sits down flush. So I draw that back in so the edge of my door is perfectly flush with this. And that would be a really nice way to go when you have those tight sort of margins, and actually might be required to do if you have those tight margins. When I pre-drill my holes, I like to put them at a small little angle so that when I put my screws in it, I'll get them all in loosely, almost to the point where the heads are becoming flat. A little bit of an angle will help draw that in and suck it up tight against the edge of the door. That's how I do it, and how I have done it in the past. Okay, there is a link below this video to a document called Product Catalog that will show you all of the Danjo door reinforcers or wraparound plates, they're known. So that's a handy document to be able to go through because it will allow you to review the entire line. Because if you know the name Danjo for anything, you know that name for door reinforcing plates or latch protectors. Those two product lines, door reinforcers and latch protectors, are what people know Danjo for the most. There's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Danjo products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog and the subsection of all of their top-level categories. The point is Danjo makes a lot more than just door reinforcers and latch protectors. They'll be able to help you with trim and auxiliary hardware, spring hinges, ladder pulls, hardware that you would use in a hollow metal shop, hinge reinforcement plates, things of that nature. Danjo has a relatively petite footprint in the marketplace with the product line, the relatively unique product line that they sell, and I would recommend that you review their catalog, because whether you're a residential client who maybe has an opportunity one or two weekends a year to do a home project for yourself, or if you're a contractor, sooner or later there'll be something from Danjo that you will end up needing, and that's for sure. So if you have any questions on the Danjo number 70, a commercial wrap and a stainless steel, or any other Danjo product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.